All right, welcome back. Today we're going to have a look at some price guides and take a look at them. Now mainly I collect the Redlines. I do have some black walls, but you know what I'm having a problem doing, and that's really looking for the actual prices of these cars. I think it's probably going to take a multitude of places in order to come up with some kind of value that really meets the market price. So as you can see, I've got this one little book here. It's a field guide. This is a Warman's Hot Wheels put out by Kraus Publications. I don't kind of use this book, I guess you could say. It's an okay book. It does have plenty of pages in it. It covers the red lines, it covers the black walls. It does have some prices in it. I think this book was put out in around 2007, so it's fairly old now. And it probably doesn't reflect the actual values. But I'll be honest with you, from what I can tell, it actually reflects the values of what these cars are actually selling on eBay for. And you would think they'd be selling on eBay for, 10 times the amount of what you actually see in a book. But that's not actually the case. You can get some pretty good prices on eBay for these cars. I'm talking about being a buyer. So as a buyer, you can make out pretty well on eBay. And I say that it does reflect the value of these cars. I'm not sure how that works out, but it always seems that the marketplace gets corrected in an auction, that's for sure. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look online at some price guides and see what that market looks like. Alright, so let's, without further ado, get online and see what we can find. Alright, we pulled up some price guides on Amazon. That's probably one of the better places to find price guides and identification guides. As you can see, we've got a list here. These books are all over the place as far as prices are concerned. I don't know which one's the best. I don't have a whole lot of books in my collection, but I should have. I mean, I've been collecting these cars for a very long time, and you'd think I would have an extensive collection of books, but I don't. There's actually one book in here that I would absolutely love to have, and we'll get to that one in a minute. So what we've got here is, we got the first one over here is like Tomart's price guide. Tomart's been around for a long time, and he used to be Mr. Hot Wheel, and he still may be. His guides are fairly affordable. That one's like $30. I think his original books came out in around 1996, I believe, and I used to own one of those, and it was a pretty good book. It was very informative, so you might want to consider getting one of the Tomart's price guides. The Warman's over here. Put out by Kraus Publications, I believe. It's a Hot Wheels field guide. It does have values. It doesn't have much as far as history is concerned in it, so if you're looking for extensive history on a car, you're not going to find it in there. That much I do know. But it's a fairly good guide as far as pictures are concerned, and it's got a lot of pages in it. It also covers black walls. So I'm not going to know everything there is to know about every one of these books. Like I said, I don't have every single one of these. I've ordered more for my collection since I've restarted collecting again. So hopefully I can tell you more about some of these books in the future. But right now we're just taking a look online. So I've looked it up here, and there's about 22 books. So, I mean, that's what Amazon picks up, and if you go looking online for more price guides, you're not going to find much more than that. So somewhere, between 22 and maybe 25 books, that's about all there is for the entire community out there. That's as far as books are concerned. There's other places to get prices, and that information can be very extensive. So far as Redline websites are concerned, Hot Wheels collectible websites. They put up their own price guides, and there's some guys out there that are really into this collecting thing. And, they have extensive list that you can check out to get prices for your cars. All right, so what we have here is we've got more books over here. They range in prices from, say, $27 to like this one right here, the Hot Wheels Ultimate Redline Guide. That's $76. That's 15 offers from $76. That's an expensive book, but not quite the most expensive book. I know that from looking at this list. The Spectre Flame book over here, the Hot Wheels Spectre Flame, the Essential Guide, 6 offers from $67. Once again, that's an expensive book. Hot Wheels, the Ultimate Redline Guide, Identification and Values by Jack Clark, $46.79. That's crazy. We've got another Tomart's Price Guide over here from 1997 to 2008. It's a 6th edition. So that's $29.95. I'm glad he keeps putting out editions, because the more editions he puts out, the less the price of the price guide. The price guide. That's a good thing for us as collectors. Over here we got the Hot Wheels Field Guide, Values and Identification. It's a Warman's Field Guide. Now I know that he puts out lots of books, and that's a cross publication book again, and that one's only $10.41. While right next to it, you got the Hot Wheels, the Ultimate Redline Guide. Now, I've looked at that book at Barnes & Noble one day, and it's a fairly decent book, I guess. And it looks like it's out of publication, and that's $46.79. So, you know, a fairly price expensive book. Right here, you got the Picker's Pocket Guide. I do own that one. I only got it for like $3. It was on sale, so I bought it. It's pretty much worthless. Unless you want some good pictures. It does have some, I think it has some prices in it. It's not very informative. It's just a very small book. It's like a garage sailor's book. If you can find it for $3, add it to your collection. Outside of that, I wouldn't pay $10 for it. The Hot Wheels Ultimate Redline Guide. We've I think seen that up there above. And as you can see, this price here is $76. Up here it was $46.79. So, you know, go figure. Hot Wheels Ultimate Redline Guide, Identification and Values by Jack Clark. Again, it's the same book, probably with a different cover or a newer edition. It's only $27.36. Now that covers multiple Hot Wheels cars, you know, the Revers and the Farbs and various other things, Sizzlers. So if you're just looking for a Redline Guide, that's probably not going to be your best book. But if you're collecting other cars, other Hot Wheels, other Mattel products, $27.36, that's a pretty decent price. The Hot Wheels Treasure Hunt book, $12.79. I don't know what to say about treasure hunts anymore. They used to be real collectible. I'm not sure about them now. I own a couple of them. I've sold some, and I've actually made a few dollars on them. So, $12.79 for a Prime book in Amazon. That's probably worth it. I'd say probably go for that book. It's probably not going to be out once that edition runs out. They probably aren't going to remake that again. And that covers a series from 1995 to 2016. So, I don't know, I think I might buy that book myself. That probably might be worth it. It seems like a good book. Gosh, we got the Hot Wheels Classics, the Redline here. I haven't looked at that book. 33 offers from $1.50. Boy, I would add that one to your collection for $1.50. It's worth it. Hot Wheels Spectre Flame, the Essential Guide to Hot Wheels. That's a cross publication book again. 6 offers from $67. Boy, that is super expensive for a little bitty book. It covers the 60s era cars. I don't know. $67 is pretty pricey for a Krause book. They've already got other books that cover red lines, and they were only $10.41. So I wouldn't waste your money on that book, that's for sure. All right, what we have right next to that is one of the most expensive Hot Wheels guides you're ever going to see, and I don't know who's going to want to pay for this. I've already got this pulled up over here so we can take a look at it. Here it is right here. It is called the Elite Redline Guide to Hot Wheels, Identification and Values. It's a hardcover book by Jack Clark and Sid Belsberg. And this book ranges from $450 to $1,133. That is absolutely insane. Let's have a look at this so you can see what the cover looks like. Wonder if we can get a bigger picture here. Yeah, there we go. That is the Elite Redline Guide. I believe it came out in 2010. Yeah, hardcover March 15th, 2010. I remember seeing this book in Barnes & Noble, and I wish I would have bought me one back then. I flipped through it. And it had some good information on it. In it about cars. It's got a lot of history, a lot of prices. I never imagined though that the book would cost that much money, and I remember it only being $30. So hopefully they'll put that one back out in print again. That would be nice because it would lower the price of that particular guide. Now it's my understanding that this is the guide, the Elite Redline Guide that I'm talking about here. Is the price guide that guys will be carrying around at the Hot Wheels shows. You're not going to see me at a Hot Wheels show with that book walking around with it because I'm not going to pay no $450 for it. I think that's an absolutely ridiculous price. I mean, if you can afford it, go for it. But I don't know how many people are actually going to buy that book for $450. That is crazy. All right, so with that said, those are about the lot of books that you can choose from on Amazon, and that's a good cross representation about all the books that are available on the market. Like I said, about 22 or 23 books. But let's see what else we can do. Now, there's a lot of different websites out there, and all I did was just pick one, just as an example. There's a lot of Redline collectibles, Hot Wheels websites with prices, and those are the prices that these guys are willing to sell their cars for, in my opinion. And sometimes there's some pretty good bargains because a lot of these guys deal with cars that are in absolutely primo mint condition, with or without the cards. And so you can get a car that's got a scratch on it for a fairly decent price because they consider that, pretty much a throwaway car. So that's kind of the collection that I've got. I've got cars that are in mint condition, but I also have cars that's got scratches and nicks and, a silver missing off of the wheels and other various things. But at least I've got the car, and that much I do like. So unless you want to collect something that's, super excellent condition and spend $1 million for it, I say go for it. But outside of that, see what you can do about just filling in holes in your collection with cars that are not in the best of condition. Now, what this website is, this is www.nchwa.com. And what he's done is he has set up his prices based on a star value over here. As you can see, he's got these star values right here, and these represent a value that he has at the bottom of his webpage. So, for example, this custom Cougar that we're looking at here, let's pull up a picture of that. This custom Cougar that we're looking at, which is in primo mint condition, he has various different representations of the various colors. So let's look at light blue. So he's got a star indicator of 23. We can scroll all the way down and look at what 23 represents. Let's find 23. All right, 23, $801 to $850 for that car. That's a heck of a lot of money. That's the one thing we do collect these for. They do go up in values. That's a crazy price. But you can use this website to, get some prices on some vehicles that are in primo mint condition. You're not going to find these kind of prices on eBay all the time, I can tell you that much. So, all right, with that said, I'm not going to go through a bunch of different websites with a bunch of different prices. I don't think there's any need for that. You can just do a simple search on Google, and you can find, a lot of online price guides and get you a good idea as to what your car might be worth. And in my opinion, one of the best spots to get your prices is going to eBay and seeing what some of those cars are going for on there. And you'd be kind of surprised. They go for a lot less than what you may think. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some cars on eBay that are priced, I've seen, for well over $1,000. Now, you don't really see them sell that often, but there's some that do. But far less than that, you're going to see cars that are going to sell for less than what their actual values indicate on some of these other websites. And those are the cars that I like to collect. So, spare yourself the grief of spending thousands of dollars on one car unless you're rich. And, pay the prices that you think the cars are actually going to be worth. And those market values are pretty much what an eBay value is going to be. I could probably give you some good examples of that when you're looking at 1973 cars. And, but we'll talk about that on another video. So there you go. There's lots of different price guides out there, about 23 or so, 22. Go through them on eBay, see which ones you like. I would go for the ones that actually have the prices and a little bit of info. And I know that I went through a few of the books and didn't really pick one out for you. I'm going to let you pick out your own book. But get you a few in your collection. I wouldn't say just get one and go from there. You'll get a good idea about what your car's worth by your books and by pricing them on eBay and by utilizing some of these websites. And that'll give you a good idea. All right, so thank you for listening to me today. And hopefully it was somewhat informative. And good luck with your search for your price guide. Thank you.